Ope. Good evening to everyone. We had to wait a bit because other webinar was still online. So today we have opportunity to talk some basic, let's say, synergies of this course that we have, titled Positive Psychology for Contemporary Business Operations. I hope we hear each other. Can we just write to me down on questions? Do you hear me, please? Yes, okay. Thank you. So today I will try just briefly show you what is our main goal of this course. My name is Lucia Mule-Mlakar. I'm teaching at Doba University for 3 years now. Before I was working in 5 other universities in Slovenia, also abroad. Last 5 years I'm working mainly with companies as a coach, consultant, strategy consultant, so I have a bit different approach towards companies. And what is my main goal is that you get as much as possible new knowledge, and of course that you apply this knowledge. Main purpose of our course is maybe a bit different. It's self-observation, self-analysis, study, and synthesis. I would like you to understand the things that we are doing and the literature that you have. So I really like you to be active along this course, to be active in blogs, to be active in questions, and really try to understand some things that we are actually doing here. You have probably read what is main goal, and certainly is new understanding. So maybe the first question for you that we start with, let's say, personal touch online, would be, what do you expect from this course? What is, or maybe what was your decision to decide to take this summer course of Positive Psychology? What are your expectations? Please, can you just write down? What are your expectations? What would you like to learn? Come on. Okay, in Slovene, znanje, I will translate. Okay, we'd like to get new knowledge to help you with human resource management. Okay, anything else? To get new information about people's feelings. Okay. You know, last few years we are all the time talking about emotional intelligence. We're talking about quantum fields of intelligence. I will also give you in our blog some videos that you could see in YouTube, some very good scientific experiments and some new scientific theories that are leading us in a new era of understanding business, for example. To enroll, okay. Okay, some new students. Well, I think that what new students get from Doba faculty is certainly a different approach towards knowledge, different approach towards people in general, students, the staff. And most of all, you really get some interesting courses that are taught abroad. In the United States, in Australia, also in London, in UK. So I think really you will get contemporary studies and upgraded, distinguished studies and knowledge from people who are your teachers. There are many good teachers on Doba faculty. You would like to learn about relation among different people from different settings. You mean settings like, let's say, from different disciplines or from different, let's say, companies? Can you maybe just write a bit more? Okay, and for psychology in the business environment, I'd like to learn about, okay, good. Very good. So, as I see now, you are really interested in people's minds, in people's feelings, and you would really like to understand the relation between feeling, emotion, and acts, human acts. Maybe you are interested in cause-effect relation, I would say. Okay. Good. So now we have 40 minutes. I would do some talking, and please, you can also do some talking by raising your hand that I can check. So maybe in a few minutes I will do that. So let's go. I just have short introduction because I don't need it. Also, you don't need it today. The next webinar will be with, let's say, classical lecture. Well, not so classical, but still with some more words on our PowerPoint. So maybe I will talk about first week, just to give you some, let's say, not so brief, but general feeling. What are my expectations, okay? So here we have the assignment, which is team project assignment, self-evaluation. This was my idea that I was working on a few years ago in 3 companies, and I tried to influence on people's, let's say, understanding of their role in the company. Usually people have lack of motivation and certainly lack of inner fire to go for some goals, projects. So I was thinking, what can I do about it? And this is first assignment. You will do the self-evaluation and self-observation in different statements. You will do a certain psychological profile, and on the end you will see many new things, because this team project is team project, and this means that the team will be a reflection to you, and you will be reflecting everything that will happen in your team. And this is one, I think, very good point that you can get by working in teams through internet, through World Wide Web whatsoever. Because it's very hard sometimes to get connection, and if you cannot get connected with people when you are face-to-face with them, you will probably have maybe more difficulties by e-learning. And in this way you will train your skills. Believe me, you will train your skills. Maybe you'll train different skills that you can imagine now, to be patient, to know when to act, to know when to wait, and so on. You will have to organize, okay? And this, everything that we now stated, is completely connected with our role in business or with our jobs whatsoever, okay? I think you will enjoy this first task. Then you have blogs. You all the time have possibility to write in blogs, also write in emails, set some questions, and I think there will be no problems. Then we have the second week. The second week will be interesting because you will try to understand types of learning, not just classical lifelong learning and so on. You will try to think about creativity in business, innovation in business. You will try to understand and to be able to facilitate creativity in employees, Okay? It's not enough if one is creative. We need to know how to, all the skills that we have, in a way, give people who are we working with. So this transfer of knowledge is very important. We would like to give you maybe understanding how to be more resourceful in shaping your decisions. Not just business decisions, but of course everyday lives decisions. Maybe we'll try to give you some more deeper insight into the relations that we have, and this will be maybe different approach to you. So the first individual assignment would be techniques for improving creative thinking and achieving creative solutions. How do we do this? Very important is theory. Yes? Important is that you are reading books. Important is that you study. It's not enough if you just read. You need to study throughout. The books, monographies, articles, whatever you choose. And to study, what does this mean to study? It means that you actually try to understand from deeper levels of your being, not just understand intellectually. Intellect is important, but it's not enough. You need to feel things. You need to imagine, for example, who is creative? What does creativity really means? Can you be creative in cooking? Can you be creative in cleaning? Can you be creating? In what areas can you be creative? Can you please give me some answers? Where can we be creative? Please. I hope you are still here. Okay. Everywhere, yes, I agree. Choosing my life goals, I agree. Let's say that we can be creative everywhere. So creativity is not so much connected with the things that we do. Yes? So where can we actually link creativity? To what? Where? How? These are the questions that you will try to answer. I can give you some clues. Okay, creativity, managing people. Very good. Leadership. Person is creative when she or he is trying to find new angles to some problems, and finding new angles is not so easy because we need to set up a new paradigm. Do you understand what a paradigm is? Paradigm is a set of, let's say, scientific or any kind of beliefs, actually. It's a paradigm. And finding new angle is also something that we will set as our goal in this course. Through discussions, through the course, all the time. Okay? And then we have, again, another assignments. You will have my presentations. You will try to think about emotional labor. You will try to think what is the secret in actual influencing on our worlds, personal, professional, and so on. And we will try to measure or maybe find some concepts regarding emotional intelligence. And also one question for you now. What is emotional intelligence for you in this time now when you didn't read much? How would you describe if your child or your mother asks you, what is emotional intelligence? What would you say? What is that? Emotional intelligence. Okay. Very good answer: to perceive people, their feelings, emotions, their being. And the others as well. The other answer is the ability to control the emotions. It's connected with people. Reakcije se promijenju situacije. Okay, reactions are connected to the situations, less stress, balancing your own emotions at the right time and the right place, understanding the behavior of others and oneself, empathy, okay. Wisdom, okay, self-understanding, ability to identify and control. Okay, I think this is general true. Now you said some actually scientific statements. It's not problem, your English, it's okay. Don't get bothered with maybe problems you have when writing in English, okay? It's important that you think in English. And so later, if you talk, if you think in English, then it's easier to write in English, okay? So, I would say that emotional intelligence is a new concept. It's connected with heart intelligence. In America, in the United States, you have Institute for Heart Math, okay? Srčna matematika, okay? You can also Google it. It's easy to find. And researchers are trying to understand how emotions, feelings are influencing the material world. There is another project, Global Consciousness Project. And the third project is Peace Project in the Middle East. These three institutions, first is Institute for Heart Math, second one is Global Project, Global Consciousness Project, and the third one is Peace Project in the Middle East, are all projects that are connected with the so-called quantum physics and quantum field. Researchers of New Era are actually realizing that the world that we are living in, it's not fixed world, but it is a world that we all influence with our, let's say, everything that we are. So also we'll have one webinar titled The Secret. Probably you have heard for the book The Secret by Rhonda Barnes. This book is about positive thinking. And with these new researchers and, let's say, investigations actually, you will understand how to change your attitudes towards the world and how to influence more positively in the long run. Okay? I hope you are interested in what I just said. Are you? Have I put any kind of, let's say, secret now into your hearts? Yes, you are. Okay. It's very interesting. Maybe you can just write down now a name that you can type in Google, Greg Braden, and you will see some scientific evidence of the new world. So going back to our course and business, you have many, let's say, studies now about new models in business. Actually, everybody now, wherever you go, are talking about global jeopardy, risk, society. There are risks in also many ways, not just in business, also in health care and so on. And we can say that now we are in the new era of understanding how to change, let's say, the situation that we are living in. Through these assignments, you will probably be able to maybe give some answers or maybe to create new answers. And if you continue now with the ways that we influence on the world that we live in, there is one important, let's say, word that we call belief. Prepričanje, belief. Whatever we think exists, actually exists. You know Newton mechanics, you know probably Einstein's relativity theory. And if you will try to connect all these different approaches, you will probably understand what we're trying to do in assignment 4. We will try to actually, let's say, in a way, to do reflection on your self-image and your career planning. So how do you plan your career? Did you ever think about it? Now, as we talk about positive psychology, do you plan your career? Do you think of, let's say, what will you do in 5 years from now? Do you think about your careers? Yes? Okay. Yeah, upon my passions. Very good. Passion is very important when you're talking about our careers. Yes, you do. Very good. Very good. Okay, here one wrote that, yes, Divine Matrix. Greg Braden is, I think the book was published maybe 5 years ago by Hay House, and it was translated in Slovene language, titled Božanska matrika. Okay, but here it's better maybe to check some actual evidence. Okay, these books are written for general public, and the scientific evidence is not so thorough and so clear. But yes, this is the book. Good. Did you read this book, Divine Matrix? Božanska matrika in Slovene. Did you like it? Slovenski naslov je Božanska matrika. The Slovene title is Divine Matrix. Okay? But of course I won't be, let's say, too thorough with this with you. This is just today a discussion, okay? I'm trying to give you some things now that are not maybe in our course, maybe to open your horizons. Also, you can check in YouTube maybe some new scientific evidence regarding human resource management. There are many, many studies. I also did some studies myself. Today I was in one company and we are setting a new economic, let's say, model for getting not just new clients, but new approaches towards clients, towards money. Okay, it's very important. What do we believe about economy and so on? What is our opinion about growth and so on? And this is something that is a sort of compass that is leading us in one or another direction. Okay, we will try to influence on your self-image. We'll try to maybe strengthen your self-image and to give you more self-confidence. Okay? Another question for you. What is self-confidence? How to understand self-confidence? What is that? I'm just reading now. Yes, there is interesting statement. New managers techniques are connected with the spiritual world, I think, also with ethics, of course. Okay. Okay, now we have self-trust, to believe in yourself. But, let's say, if we are rich, are we self-confident? People are probably very self-confident when they are rich. We can say this in general, okay? If people are pretty, they are also self-confident. If they are very wise, clever, they're self-confident. And we usually connect confidence with success. We agree? We agree. But when we check, let's say, companies through longer periods of time, I've noticed some patterns that are always the same. If we do some, let's say, not ethical things, we can always say what goes around comes around, but it's not always like that. Companies can also live through all different catastrophes, but people are still having their own families, so sometimes families are the ones who are paying the price. And we think about global economy. What drives the economy? Is this really just profit? I don't think so. Because all very successful companies, they have something that I'm trying to find out what this is. Certain passion. You can say certain spiritual intelligence. But people and companies like, let's say, Geox or Ili or other family companies, these people started with just an idea to give many other people something that is real good. A cup of coffee, a pair of good shoes. So I think that what is very important in these new types of models for economic growth is to think more generally about our ideas. Internationalization of ideas is something that is of a significant importance. Okay? So there's one question. What kind of companies I'm working with? Can you give me maybe more questions, because there is much to talk about it. Maybe I can say that there are some family companies that have maybe 40 or 50 people employed. There are some bigger companies. There are some companies abroad. And when I start working with companies, I always ask myself before we sign that contract, what can I actually change or give them? This is my first question. And I need to find reason to help. Do you understand? I need to find reason to help. Because if you do some changes when the people or the market or the, let's say, the consciousness of the company is not ready, you can really do a lot of harm. So it's not just as simple as you go somewhere, you show new models, people adapt to models. People very shortly adapt to models, but important is to think about circumstances that you are in and some side effects that you actually are causing with ideas and with, let's say, my own influence that I have on people. Okay? So this is important, to make a projection of someone's influence in a firm. So I can't work with some types of firms or companies, and I don't want to work them because I'm maybe not the right person to do this. Okay? I always try to connect in this general, let's say, matrix, if you want to have this word. Okay? You were writing many questions. Okay, this is important statement. Some companies that thrive, they have special values. I agree. They have special values. No, I'm not in this kind of programs, neuroprogrammatic. In Slovenia we have neurolinguistično programiranje. I'm not teaching this kind of neuroprogramming because I have many experience with psychology. Psychiatric studies I also checked for many years, and it's very dangerous to effect on our subconscious, and people have lack of knowledge about genes, about neurons, about our brain. Okay, so I'm not teaching this, no. Any other questions before we continue? I actually developed my own methods, so I'm working only by the methods that I've been trained into, that I have actually, in a way, not just that I understand completely, but that have proven right through the time. Transcendental meditation. No, I don't teach transcendental meditation. No, no. I have, let's say, very strong spiritual grounding in myself and really broad knowledge about many different techniques. I've seen many people who got sick, who got schizophrenia, paranoia, and so on, while they were dealing with the things that they don't understand, while they were dealing with their goals, trying to achieve whatsoever. No mention any price, okay? So it's very important, if you are maybe yourself doing TM or maybe other kind of programming, be careful. Read, learn, and then decide. I think it's what's my main goal, or maybe role also, is that I try to consult people to find what's the best for them, okay? And transcendental meditation, it's not good for everyone, especially not for people who are already having fears, anxieties, and so on. This kind of meditation is okay for very stable people. People who are having anxieties should have professional therapists, okay? These techniques can be very dangerous. You can read about this or you can believe me, okay? Any other questions before we go on? Reconnection, yes, I've heard for reconnection. I do not do this also. It's just one way of understanding, let's say, our connection to the universe. I prefer anthropological studies. I'm also master of anthropology, so I've read many traditional ancient texts from Native Americans, Native Austroasians, and so on. This knowledge is really very, very rich. And what we have in today's world, this flood of spiritual teachers and techniques, is very good, actually. But we are the ones who are deciding what actually are we going to choose. And I think it's very hard to decide for the things that are right, okay? But I really support you if you find these techniques good for you, okay? Maybe another question. Do you yourself do this kind of techniques, or are you just asking? Are you training anything? You can write this down. We won't be that spiritual, believe me, okay? You know, right spirituality is actually to bring more love, understanding to the world. This is my belief, okay? And it's actually not even connected with religion. It's connected with our ethics, moral human ethics. Due to these techniques, please can you answer? That I understand you as my students. What are your desires? Do you meditate? Whatever. Okay, you don't? Can you please others write? Okay, another. Successful and find hard to calm my mind. Okay? Yes, I can believe you. Peace of mind is really luxury. Yes, we can't even buy it in the shop. We need to work for our peace of mind. You don't, okay, you meditate. Some don't, you don't. You pray, okay, I use some techniques. Sometimes I meditate, sometimes I don't, okay. Okay, Siva method. You know, I know all these kind of methods because I'm a researcher, okay? I think that every researcher needs to know a lot about the world if he or she wants to be, first of all, a good teacher, and a second of all, teacher with great responsibility, okay? An illusion? Well, actually, meditation is not illusion, okay? Scientifically, it was proven that our brain is having different kind of waves like alpha, beta, theta, delta waves, and we can measure them. So this is not an illusion. It's just a state of mind that some people can very, very quickly go into, okay? So when people say that, let's say, spirituality is an illusion, well, you must know that history of our kind, of humankind, is full of religious and, let's say, spiritual kinds of understanding. And it is not an illusion. It's just the way how we interpret the world, okay? So it's important that you, as a researcher and as a student, that you understand and you should know about our past, okay? It's actually general education, okay? We won't be talking about ghosts, yeah? Okay, some student is studying quantum physics, very good. Oh, here another question, what's the best way to meditate? It is hard to answer. Just try, like, yeah, this is the answer. Try to empty your mind. That's it. That's the best way. Okay, I think that you're a very spiritual group, as I can see. Most of you did, or you still do, meditation. Some of you try to calm their minds. Well, a few years I also studied martial arts. Okay, so I studied martial arts, Aikido, and some more, and I learned a lot. Okay, I learned a lot. Most of all, I learned how to deal with people who are very arrogant, ego-centered, and so on. How to work with aggressive people. As a consultant, as a coach, I need to know this. I have to be stable, and I am stable. I'm stable. I have no problems here. Okay, do you agree that we get further? Yes. So we talked about techniques, we talked about different kinds of interpretations of the world that we live in, through spirituality, through economy, through family ties, through love, through hate, and so on. And you will try to do this individual assignment. You will think about a fictitious company of the future that is based on the model of positive psychology. He would like you to think about the company that you would like to work in. Maybe this is a company where you will be meditating, singing. Maybe this will be a company where you'll be just working. Okay, just try to use your imagination. And of course, remember, we still need to eat, okay? So when someone just write down that spirituality is illusion, of course, some people are just drifted away and they forget to live. They forget to earn money and to take care of others, okay? So spirituality is actually to be better for oneself and others. I think that's the best definition. Okay? And then if we move further on, we have then essay. You will try to think about these different approaches. And through all these assignments, I just stated a few, our goal is that you see yourself in a more neutral way and to see others in a more neutral way. That's actually our main goal. We'll try to ask ourselves. What is our character? How do we act in different circumstances? How do we actually understand the world? Do we interpret the world, or we just live like machines? Do we have this auto-reflexive component in our brains, hearts, and so on? Okay? So maybe now you will give me some questions. If you have questions regarding our course, please, now it's time for you. Do you have any questions? Any comments? Is everything clear for you? Are you happy to having this course? Okay? Do you have any questions? Okay, some assignments will be posted on the Blackboard, yes. Some assignments won't be posted. It's written with each assignment, okay? Also, we will be working with my assistant, Dr. Valentina Pravolnik-Rupel. She's a very great colleague of mine. She's also a statistic, and I'm also working in these methodologies and so on. So we're working together for 2 years now, and I think we're a very great team. Okay, another question. When do you submit? Well, you submit assignments according to the dates that you have each week, okay? I think that you should write assignments in English, okay? Yes, every team has a team leader. When you were working in a team, you will find, or maybe you will address somebody who will be the leader. So leading the team is also leading the team in your company, okay? So he will have training. A definition of who is the leader is yours. Well, regarding the Slovene or English, I would really like you to ask Vesna Kolenc-Potočnik, please, okay? But if you have English, maybe it's good that you train English, okay? Please ask Vesna. I actually don't mind if you write in English or Slovene. I don't mind. Okay, regarding the language, please consult Ms. Vesna Kolenc-Potočnik. No, things won't be consulted online, because I think some materials, okay, some materials would be, especially your blogs, but things that are very intimate to you, they are, of course, like privacy for me, and don't worry if you're worried to maybe say or open yourself too much, okay? Other questions? I can also read Croatian, yes, but I am very bad in writing Croatian. I think that Vesna has answered to us that you can write. Okay, here's the answer. All individual assignments can be written in your mother tongue, and all team assignments in English. Is that okay, students? Would you like that? Super, yes, cool, okay, very good. Multilingual we are. Okay. But please do the reading. Please try to really go deeper, deeper, deeper if you want to learn new things. Without studying, without analyzing, thinking, maybe having doubts, you won't learn anything, okay? We said when we started this webinar today that I would like to show you new angles, new approaches. And we just talked about, let's say, transcendental meditation, so on. This is okay. It's just one way how we perceive reality, nothing else. And if we see now in the world, there are so many different ways how to live our lives, not just regarding the religious ways. There are many ways how to raise children. There are many different methods how to be a good parent. There are many different sexual orientations nowadays, many different biological, biographical orientations. So the world is full of alternatives. So what is my point is that it's very hard to sometimes decide which is the best alternative for you. And if we don't research the alternatives, we can't actually learn. But it's still good to be careful, okay? Especially with some techniques where the brain is included, where you actually influence on the dopamine, serotonin, and other hormones. It's really, this is a field where you need to be careful. Or maybe consult somebody who is psychologist, psychiatrist, and so on. It's good to consult people who have knowledge. Okay? Any other questions? Okay, the procedure of teamwork. There's another question. You work in teams. Each person of a team is responsible for the whole. Okay? So each person in a team needs to try as much as possible for the team assignment, because the grade that you will get is the grade for all of you. Okay? And procedures are written, and if still anything is not clear, you can write your questions and we will give you very, very short our answers. Was I clear? If I was not, please write some more. Yes, in first week you have some assignment. You start with assignments, okay? So please just check this introduction of ours and just read throughout assignments, read this, I think there are maybe 20 pages, maybe read them, okay? And you will shortly get feeling that this course will be really very nice for you. Don't be afraid to ask questions, okay? Another question. Yes, you always need to write references and literature. Be careful with this. Another question. Will team assignments look like every regular assignment? Just can't imagine how it's supposed to look. Okay, it's, well, yes, it's like regular assignment. You have rules, you have all these definitions in our texts. Okay, so just try to read, and I think everything will be clear then. Yes, what is with self-evaluation table? Can you please write a question? I don't understand the question. You just evaluate yourself throughout the course, each day, okay? Self-reflection and so on, what we talked earlier. Can you please write more, Ms. Svetlana, about self-evaluation table? What is not clear? Any feedback after submitting? Of course you will receive feedback. We always give you feedback at DABA faculty. We are very, very thorough with this, and comments are usually very deep, not just it's good, it's not good. You just get really very rich comments. No, you don't have to create the self-assignment table. You have it in your Blackboard. Okay, you have it in your Blackboard. You can maybe just create some more sentences where you observe yourself. Okay? It's not classical assignment. It's just observation of yourself. Anthropology is a discipline where you observate, and observer is the one who defines fields. And if you are a good observer, you can really do distinguished work in all spheres. In my experience, people like to talk, but they don't know how to listen. Okay? And when you observe, you also listen, but you listen from a different angle. You listen to the things that people usually don't want you to see. Yeah? Okay, any other questions? Well, I hope that this introduction was interesting for you, that you got this feeling, what this secret of ours is going to be like. We are still in the field of science. Don't be afraid. So try to lead you through different approaches and so on. Okay, if you're not working now, you can write about the job that you had previously. Okay? It's also mentioned in the text that if you are without job, if you are younger student, that you don't need to write this down, but some experiences in labor market each student already had. Okay? So just write from the previous experiences. All right? I'll wait a few more seconds. Okay, I think there are no more questions. I wish you really nice time in our course, some new connections that you will get with people, new training, okay? I wish you a very nice evening and we'll be in touch, okay? Be well. Good night.